I thought this would be a great time to make a video. Catch the sunset over the pool. It's beautiful. Uh, I've still been, I've been on a rampage for such a long time that I ended up catching an STD, and I was speaking to a few people, and we are just thinking. I got suggested by a few people, why don't I just make a video about it? People are like, why do you make a video about this? Tell the story. So, there's like a cycle if you go on a proper rampage. Um, you're out there gaming all the time. You're doing day game. You're hitting the bars almost every night in the clubs. You're generally waking up around like 1, 2 p.m. For lunch, and you're basically getting a lot of leads. You're chasing a lot of girls. You're using online dating. You're using everything at your disposal. You usually also hanging out with a bunch of guys that are on a rampage too. So you're going on double dates. You've got a lot going on basically, and what will sometimes happen is with the volume of leads, you kind of get into a bit of a frenzied state where you will not only get like the girls that you would normally get, like the average sort of girls that the majority of gamers, I would say, would get when they get good at game. You will sometimes strike gold, like, and get legit, like, really, really hot girls, while midweek hanging out with like a 6 or something. So you get into this kind of it's like, I guess it's like a sex addiction. Let's just put it like that. And then just out of nowhere, you start when you start sleeping with a lot of different girls, and this is partly how STDs get spread around. You start to like be a little bit, irresponsible. Not wearing a condom when you should be wearing a condom. Not noticing the signs that the girl that you are taking home tonight seems a little bit dodgy, like the type of girl that you probably, should wear a condom with or shouldn't take home at all. Hang on a second. That up a bit. So you become a little bit, irresponsible, basically. And you start doing things that you, not just sexually, but like you forget about protection. You run out of condoms. You start getting a little bit more adventurous and doing things, that you probably wouldn't normally do all the time. And so what happened there? That little that bird crashed into the glass and then landed in the pool. He just saved it. Okay, so where were we? So 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 basically my story is I started lowering my guard, sleeping. It's funny, the more sex you get, the more of a rampage you go on, you will sometimes just lower your standards as well. You're not only, you know, you would think the opposite would happen, where you get a lot of sex, then you have it's just logical to think this way. You have an oversupply of girls, and so therefore your standards will naturally get higher, and they do get higher. You expect the hot girls to respond really well to you when you go on a proper rampage and you're just gaming all the time. But you will also accept the lower quality girls that you probably wouldn't have when you weren't on like a rampage, which is weird. You would think it would be the opposite way around, but you find yourself like sleeping with girls that really you shouldn't be sleeping with, and you get a bad feeling. They kind of feel like they might be carrying some STDs or something. You become a little bit more irresponsible, not wearing a condom. You start doing things sexually that are a little bit more risque and a bit messy. You start, next thing you know, you catch some STDs, and you might not know it first. Then you might, like myself, you notice that you've picked up some STD, and it's like a little bit itchy, or there's a little bit of pus or something going on down there, and then you're like, oh, and then you start Googling it. Now, the the whole point of this story, I'm not exactly sure. Some of the things I did learn is that when it comes to doctors, a lot of these doctors are quite useless. Oh, my arm. My arm. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to sit here and put this here. Done the first time. So, basically, you get it. Right now, I got no choice but to stop, you know. And I went out and I did some research. I became a bit of a Google expert, and I discovered what I think I contracted, and went to the doctor. I've got a bunch of medications to cover all of my bases, and you know, uh, if you were to catch an STD, like, people say that you shouldn't Google it. I highly recommend you do, and you just look at the symptoms, go through all of them. There's not a lot of STDs out there, so you should be able to figure out which one you've got pretty fast. And just ask for that medication up front so you can get the problem solved fast. Most of the time, the STDs just hang around for a week. You take a couple of pills, it's gone within a week, and everything's gone. And then you just wait another week, go get a test, and then in theory you should be fine. There are some STDs out there that they're becoming more resistant to the medications, and this is part of the reason why there's so many sexually transmitted infections, bacterial infections all over the place, because they're becoming more and more resistant, almost like superbugs. And one of the most common ones is chlamydia, gonorrhea. They're basically, you have basically pus or cream. Some of the times it doesn't show, you don't get any symptoms at all sometimes. These are the basic ones. Sometimes you get a like a staph infection, or you'll get some warts or something like that. That's a little bit more serious. Generally, it does matter, where your standards lie too. I would say that a large percentage of the time you can kind of tell if the girl is going to give you something. There are a lot of girls out there that are quite irresponsible as well. They just don't care, and they will give you something. I have noticed that the majority of the time it's easy to spot the girls that are very promiscuous, and it's not what you guys think it is, by the way. I hear guys going, "Oh, she's got tattoos. She's easy." It's just not true. It's not always the girls with tattoos. That's red pill guys that aren't actually getting laid telling you that stuff. A lot of the times, the girls covered in tattoos have a low body count. Actually, it's the opposite. But I'd say like highly promiscuous girls that will sleep with you really fast, but they're really keen for the sex. Like they're really keen. They're really sexual. Like they might have a sex addiction themselves. They're the ones that are more likely to give you something. Now, maybe this video could have been filmed in another way where I talk about how to identify them. It's not a science, so I can't really make that video, but I can tell you my story. I've just taken a couple of pills. I've got one of those, one of those ones, one of those STDs. In the next week, it should be cleared up, and it'll give me a good breather. I'll go have a shave, might get a haircut. I'll go and do some things that I probably should be doing. I might, go get a haircut. I'm going to make a video. Just even making a video. That's it's given me time to make a video as well. That's a positive as well. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share my story. Went on a massive rampage. Like, different girl almost every 2 or 3 days. There's clubs there's almost a different club every night that you can go out in. You can day game every day. Online dating, I'm using a different hack for online dating. I only tell my clients this hack. We got a bunch of other new strategies. Just keep in mind that things are always changing. And once you think you've figured it out and you've got the perfect method, something new will pop up. And if you're open to new things and you're willing to try new things, you've got an open mind, you will learn a lot. You will learn a lot of different things. You will constantly be at the cutting edge of like dating and pickup. And someone like myself, I'm privileged. I'm fully aware of how privileged I am to have the ability to have access to a lot of guys that are trying new things all the time, telling me, hey, I tried this hack and it worked. I'm like, wow, it worked? Let me try it. Oh my God, it worked. And, just living my best life. And I recommend you guys try to do the same. Life is short. You got to get out there and enjoy it. Don't worry about some STDs or worry about a few people, calling you a sexist or a misogynist, or why don't you settle down and get women, get married? Who hurt you? Just go out there and live your life. Try to enjoy it as best you can, because no one cares about the enjoyment of your life other than yourself. And maybe your best mates, maybe your mum. If your mum's a nice mum, that is. If your mum's a bitch, then you're in trouble. But it's mostly your best friends that are gonna care about you being happy. But still, you have to make it happen. And that's going to require some risks. That's going to require you going to the description and signing up to some coaching with someone like myself and actually taking the right steps. These things are going to have to happen. Or you try to figure it out yourself. And I'll see you in a decade. But at the moment, I'm out. I'm out for another 7 days. I have to wash my pants, wear different underwear like twice a day, make sure I don't reinfect myself, keep my immunity high. I'm going to hit the gym, I just take lots of vitamin C, eat lots of fruit and vegetables, try to fight this thing off as fast as possible so I can get back out there. I'm moving to a different location actually. So this pool, it's been a beautiful pool. It's been a magnificent place to pool. Here, just like there's like a seating area, and I've I've sweet talked the security like nothing else. Uh, if you need somewhere to pull and it's like 1 a.m. in the morning and you show them a video of your rooftop pool and you grab some drinks, it's in the bag. 1, 2, 3 a.m. all the way through to sunrise, jumping in the pool here. Most of the people here are asleep at that time. It's a rooftop, so there's nobody around. No one can hear you. Be as loud as you want. Oh my goodness. It's a gold mine. It really is. It's awesome up here. So anyway, I don't know what the moral of the story is. There is no moral to any of the story. There's no real lesson out of it. It's just a story. I'll see you guys next video.